So recently I was working in a store where they were preparing for a big visit. This is a big visit. And because of this visit, there were leaders visiting this specific store that I was in to help this store. Well, today I was feeling extra happy. I was feeling very confident. And I waved when I noticed these two people walking around in the area that I was, in that vicinity. And I smiled, and they came on over. And I got to meet them. So the woman was kind and pleasant. She shook my hand, she smiled, and was genuinely just a nice person, you could tell. The man, on the other hand, I don't even remember if I shook his hand because he said, right after I introduced myself, proceeded to say, "So what do you do for us? So what do you do for us?" Ringing in my ears, there was a hint of arrogance blended in with maybe dismissiveness. And I felt like I had to defend my role, even though I didn't. So I said, "No, Hillary," in my mind. "Just explain. I am here for vendor support. I support the store. Blah, 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 blah." But then he continued the conversation with his colleague, and then they both just walked away. She was friendly. He was not. Two different leaders, one male, one female, completely different impact from both. We are used to corporate visits and arrogant store walkthroughs and pompous attitudes or very dismissive personalities, especially when it comes to men, in my opinion. But I didn't really think about how kindness is expected more from leaders who are women until my friend pointed this out. Is it really optional for men? What do you guys think? Let's get into it.
Sorry. It's discontinued.
So yes, we are used to corporate visits. We're used to seeing the big wigs come on through from the brands, big pressure, and they walk through. Everyone's cleaning like crazy. Managers are all stressed out. Everyone needs to know their numbers, blah, blah, blah. Weird energy on the floor. And when it does, hopefully you will have a leader like this woman who I was able to meet on the floor. It was very much of a do or don't situation. Like, you do want someone in that position who is just like her, and you don't want someone in a position that was just like him because, man, I just wanted to be like, "What? What do I do for you? I don't do nothing for you. I don't work for you." But of course, I couldn't because I am a professional and I can't talk like that. Wanted to. But so a leader that walks through the door, they don't even say hello, and people are invisible. And I also noticed with this gentleman that when he walked around the store, I didn't really see him talking to a lot of people or associates until he was walking around with the other leader. She would go around and introduce herself and even ask associates' names and create a personal connection in that short meeting. And I appreciated it so much because I love to watch the happenings of what is happening in a store. I dissect, I question. What is that person going through today? Why are they acting like this? What kind of leader is this person? How are they responding to my question or my colleague's question? How is the store associates feeling supported? I nerd out on all that shit because I like community and I like seeing people who are well managed and led, and it creates such a beautiful environment. You guys know about I talk about this shit all the time. So when I watch this woman, this leader, walking around and introducing herself and thanking them after they would do something for her to get things situated for this big visit. Keep in mind with these visits, they're shifting everything everywhere. You've got to move this. You've got to rearrange this. You've got to mix these together. It is a lot of work. It is extremely time consuming and overwhelming because you have to keep in mind the other things that you've shifted so you don't lose perspective on the whole thing. And they're imagining what this team, the visual team, and all these other people that are with them, what they're going to be looking at when they walk through these stores. It literally is get the house ready, but get it fucking ready. Do it, because you can't have anything out of sync, because what happens, sadly, in my opinion, is then people get called out for not doing their job. And then there is more pressure on them to be perfect. What do you guys think about these visits? It's so ridiculous sometimes because you're shifting things to make things look a certain way, and the way the counters are designed and the way the cabinets are designed and storage. There is no room for anything. There is no real aesthetic that is eye pleasing and functional at the same time. It just doesn't happen because the people who are designing these counters and boutiques, they work in an office. They don't work in cosmetics and beauty and fragrance. They have no freaking clue. If you had a team of people up in the corporate office designing a counter, we would get an award. Because you need storage, you need tester accessibility, but you also need to be able to change things out when there's newness, new visual, but it should be easy to do because there is so much change. Okay, we're not talking about visual and change and all of that stuff. We're talking about the visit and arrogance. So, but you guys know what I'm talking about with how counters, they function. It's really, somebody has no clue who designed the counter. So these leaders, especially this woman, is going around and she's thanking people for shifting and moving all of these pieces and merchandise, but being very understanding of how much work it is, being appreciative. That is huge when you are a leader. I love seeing people that are kind in a workplace, kind in a leadership role, and they have integrity. But then it poses the question, back to what 180 said. When a woman is a leader and she is warm, we call her professional. When she is quiet or serious, we call her cold. But when a man is quiet, we call him focused. I mean, isn't that wild? Women have to work that much harder. And then you look at this industry and community and leadership roles, going back to this gentleman, what do you do for us? I don't want to do nothing for you, bud. This is what I want to say. But the manager who brings coffee and helps with the register and remembers people's names and thanks them, I'll be working for you all day long. It is so nice. It is so nice when you have a leader who has made you feel seen and not invisible and appreciates you. So, arrogance in the workplace, not my favorite. It is not my favorite. I'm trying not to whisper. I whisper in a lot of my episodes. I get like when I want to make a joke because I'm working on my confidence. I want to hear what you guys think as people in this industry who work under people who are leaders, that are good leaders. What makes a good leader? What makes a good leader? Women, men, what makes a good leader? And have you had anybody ever talk to you in a way like this guy? What do you do for us? Like, what? God, every time I say it, just pisses me off. Just makes me so mad. Like the arrogance. Like, what? I don't do nothing for you, buddy. Okay, I've got to stop because I'm in a good mood. I just went for a walk. So you're not going to take my joy, sir. I'm a hard worker. Anyway, this is not a leadership sucks, corporate sucks episode. This is when leadership makes an impact and how much I appreciate it. Good leaders. I love a good leader. Is it rare? So I want to hear your stories. Damn it. Send me some stories, people. What are your experiences? Talk to me. Good leader, bad leader? Just share some. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for having a seat with me for today's episode of Sorry It's Discontinued. I appreciate you guys so much. So I want to remind you guys to take care of yourselves. I know right now with the weather, just cold, hot, cold, hot. My lips have been a little dry. So there is actually a lip scrub that I love. It's called Made. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's a really gentle, clean lip scrub, easy to use in a tube. Highly recommend. The brand is MAED, but it's really nice. They sell it at Sephora. Not sure, probably online, but you know how I feel. If you can, go in store or do a curbside order. Curbside is good. It's fine. It supports the store. So curbside order, Made lip scrub. Do a little lip scrub situation. You can do it at night before you go to bed. And you can even use an extra little soft toothbrush when you're done. Just kind of gently scrub your lips with the toothbrush. That was a nice little trick I learned when I worked for Chanel. I don't remember who taught me that you could use that with a scrub and then put your cream on top. So also Chanel, of course, their lip cream is incredible. There is a lip balm with tint from ColourPop. It is so cute. It's peach and it has sparkle. I love it. And it has like a little bit of a smell, like a peachy smell. So take care of your lips. Hey, love those lips and love yourself because you deserve it. You're amazing and you're doing great things. I appreciate you guys and I cannot wait to sit with you next week for another episode of Sorry It's Discontinued. And we will continue this retail vent love fest. So shop in store, support your local sales associates, smile whether you're behind the counter or in front of it, and give yourself a hug. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Sorry It's Discontinued, the podcast that brings you the reality of retail and the people, brands, stores, and products we all love. If you enjoyed today's episode, hit follow, leave a review, or share it with a fellow retail warrior. You can always connect with me or support the show at sorryitsdiscontinued.com or buymeacoffee.com/sorrypodcast. Now, this podcast is independently produced and not sponsored by any brand, company, or organization. All views, opinions, and personal stories shared are their own and do not represent any retailer or brand mentioned. Brand names, product references, and service mentions are included for storytelling and commentary purposes only. But I thank you so much for sitting with me today. And remember, continue to shop in store, support your local stores and your local sales associates. You can even call them and order. It's amazing. And every visit helps keep these stores open so we can all continue enjoying real in-person retail therapy. And I'll see you next time. I appreciate you so much. Bye.
Sorry. It's discontinued.